I got a request for a video on my first horse, so here is my video. So my first Breyer horse that I ever bought was Rocky, and I found him at a secondhand store. I didn't know he was a Breyer at first, but I picked him up and I looked at his tummy right there. Right there on his belly it says Breyer, and I got really excited and I decided to take him home. Yeah. So, actually he's a she, but at the time I didn't know that because I was just a kid. So for a long time, Rocky was the only Breyer that I had. I had a lot of Grand Champions, I had a lot of other plastic horses, but I didn't have any other Breyers. And then I got Red once I got old enough to save up my own money and go into a store, and they had a lot of Breyers there, but he was my first, what I thought was a traditional Breyer, because I didn't know Rocky was a traditional. I just thought he was a classic because he was small, but he's actually a traditional. But anyways, I got Red, and I chose him because he was the only one I could really afford. Like, I just kind of wanted a regular looking horse that you might see in somebody's backyard. Yeah, so that was my first traditional, even though technically Rocky was. My first ever custom was Flick. And I've actually bought him at a secondhand store for $1. He had 3 legs, and now he has 4 legs. And I repainted him. So he was not only my first custom, he was my first resculpt. Like, I didn't resculpt him all that much, but I resculpted his foot. I gave him a new foot. And that was my very first ever sculpting job on a Breyer. And I carved out that foot and that foot. So that's Flick. My first ever painting job on a Breyer. That's why he looks a little funny. That's okay, I still love him. And this horse, Firefly, is actually based on my first real horse, who I never even got to ride. And I only got to meet him after my grandparents sold him, which is really sad, but I thought he was really pretty and I wanted to make a model after him. So there he is. This horse only had 1 leg when I bought him, and he was missing a tail, so I gave him one. But he was another of my early customs, so his legs are kind of lumpy. But it's really hard to sculpt legs onto a horse that only has 1 leg. It's really hard. Anyways, there's my first horse. I hope you enjoyed.